What's up, Make Movers? It's great to talk to you all once again. Today, I want to talk to you about the 3 Bs. Yes, the 3 Bs. Several years ago, I had the great fortune and privilege to serve in the senior executive team of one of Florida's governors, that of then Rick Scott. I was holding a high position and held it with great honor, respect, and to this day, I'm still honored to even be entrusted with that. Worked along some great people who taught me a lot as we worked together, some directly, some indirectly. But even in that responsibility, I also was tasked with leading several people who were my direct reports. Whenever I have people working for me, I like to always make sure that our office has a model that we govern ourselves by. Although we are up under the umbrella of the overall organization, within an organization, you have silos. They're not isolated, but we all work and have a responsibility. And if we do our part in our silo, and others do their part in their silos, it all comes together. For our silo, we were responsible for legislative affairs. That means the public policy arm of the governor's office. And so when I was hired, after spending time in prayer and focusing in on how I wanted to lead the team and make sure that we accomplished the responsibilities that were going to be given to us, I came up with the 3 Bs. The 3 Bs. 3 Bs were be respectful, be responsive, and be committed. Be respectful, be responsive, and be committed. Be respectful, meaning every day you come to work, treat your coworkers with the utmost respect. Make sure that you understand that we all are up under the same umbrella, working for the same ultimate outcome. So how we treat each other really does matter. How we talk to each other really does matter. Appreciating the fact that every person on the team's role is important. Whether you are the senior leader with the high title or you are the executive assistant scheduling meetings and taking phone calls, all of us combined accomplish a great goal. Be respectful. The way you talk to people matters. The way you treat people matter. The way you make people feel about themselves when they're in your presence matters. Understanding that every role is contributing to the ultimate outcome. It all matters. Be responsive. This is one of the greatest challenges and frustrations that I have in business is people who are not responsive. When you receive a text or an email or a phone call and you choose to take your sweet time, hours, days, weeks, sometimes even months later before you respond, that's not being responsive. Because I was not the elected official, I understood that everything that I did was a reflection of that elected official. So how I treated my staff mattered, but also how I responded to internal and external communication matters. When someone is shooting you an email, sending you a text, or leaving you a voicemail, he or she is calling you or reaching out to you for a reason. Your communication in return matters. If you are overwhelmed by work and demands, have a system in place where you can at least be responsive. Where it's an automated system where you acknowledge you received their email or their text and that you will get back within a certain defined time frame. Or you have your assistant check your voicemails or have access to your emails and he or she is given the responsibility and the empowerment to respond on your behalf. At least sending some acknowledgement to the sender that you, the recipient, received and will respond at the appropriate time. Imagine if you were the person who sent a message and you're waiting on an answer. That's necessary. But the person you sent it to chose to take their sweet time before they responded. You would be frustrated, especially if you were forced or facing a sensitive deadline. Be responsive. Even if the answer is no, be responsive enough to give that answer. Do something to let people know that you have received and that you will respond. I'm not telling you to respond in a few seconds. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is try to establish some rule. For me, I have a 24-hour rule, meaning I am going to respond to any communication I receive within 24 hours. Whether the answer is yes or no, whether it's I'll get back to you a little bit later, whatever it may be, some communication is going to be given to you within 24 hours. I respect you enough to let you know that I've received what you sent to me. I'm either working on it or I'm too busy to acknowledge it right now, but I will get back to you. I want us to understand that when you're making moves, one of the greatest ways to distort and detour you from your path and destroy your character and your name, your reputation, is being known as somebody who's irresponsive. There are people that you know who hold high positions, who are respectful, who are busier than you, and they still find the time to respond. Then there are people who could be deemed your subordinates who are self-important, but he or she does not feel the need to respond to communication. Whenever you respect people, you also in return respond to people. And the third B and the final P is be committed. Be committed. Be committed to the team you're on. Be committed to the team you lead, but also be committed to the work that you are entrusted to do. Listen to me. Everyone has a reason why they can't do something. We are all busy. Absolutely. Every one of us are always busy. I get that. But be committed. Why join the team if you're not going to contribute to the team? Why take on the task if you're not going to work to complete the task? Why be a part of something bigger than you if you're not going to use your gifts to help advance whatever that may be? Be committed. Everyone can have a reason to complain. We all have at least one day where we don't want to be bothered with people. Even I have those days. But be committed, because there are people who are depending upon you to do your part as they do their part, so that your parts can come together. Yeah, be respectful. Treat people with respect. Talk to them with respect. Be responsive. Have a system in place where you can acknowledge that you received the message from the sender, that you will respond accordingly. And then be committed. Don't add yourself to a team unless you're going to contribute to the team. When I was in college, one of the greatest frustrations I had was group projects. Because what that simply means is there's going to be at least one person who's not going to give equal participation, but all of our grades were dependent upon the group, not the individual. And so you knew that one person not going to come to the group meetings, not going to do their part for the group project, but you knew that you had to carry their weight so that your grade did not suffer. When you are committed, you commit yourself to making sure that you uphold your corner so that all the corners are upheld so that no one falls under the pressure of the weight. Be respectful, be responsive, and be committed. Those are the 3 B's. Success has been a blessing for me because I've adhered to these things. I can give you a 4th B that I think is very important, and I want to give it to you. Be humble. Understand we're all replaceable. And every single day that you are blessed to see, be humble. Understand that you are replaceable, but while you're in that place, you are a contributor. Be humble. Walk with your feet planted on the ground, not with your nose high in the sky. Be humble. And when you are humble, you understand that people are more apt to do something for you, with you, because they appreciate you. Be humble. Walk as if you're victorious, but talk in a sense of humility. Hope this helped you out. Hope you have a productive day and week. Until we gather again, remember this now. Make moves, not announcements.